Welcome. Let me quickly run through the program with you. I have come to the realization that some people are struggling to understand the full navigation of the software, even having read the manual, the PDF manual that I've written. So this is going to be a brief overview of the software. I will just touch on a few areas that have been reported to me as having, posing some challenges when it comes, to issues of understanding as to how to navigate those areas. So let's jump right into it. So the system requires you to log in because it's a secured software. I'll use my credentials for the purposes of this demonstration, but of course you'll be given your own credentials that you can use to evaluate and navigate the software. Alright, so this particular version, I think we are in. When I'm recording, the system tends to be slower. I bet you won't experience the same issues with your system. Alright, we are in. So this version has been created in two, it comes with two files. One is for data and the other one is this particular software. So you can amend your student data using a separate file from the system. I've included this data template in the folder that I've shared with you via Google Drive. You can rename them whichever way you want. I'll open this particular one as an example. So this is a separate workbook which has no macros, there are no programs, no formulas in here. It comes with 5 tabs, one for Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 4. So you enter data accordingly, and don't forget to update the information pertaining to the academic period, the year and the term in this particular tab, and then don't forget to save whatever changes you might have made. So, and exit that one. So the most critical one of the functionalities is to download this data that you've updated in that particular separate workbook. So the first thing is to map the source file. The system doesn't know which particular file by default to get the data from, so you tell it to say this time around I want you to get data from this particular source workbook. So in our case the source workbook is on desktop, so I have to locate that particular data template by clicking that button. So when you click that one, this dialog box comes up asking you to locate the file that you want data to come from. So you locate the desktop like so, and then you search for the file. You can either search here or you can just type here. So I think the name of that particular data template is term 2. Yeah. So term 2 results is that one. So it has been highlighted through the search. I can just go ahead and click OK or just double click it. So the mapping comes here, and then this particular field tells you what the name of that particular file is. This field shows you the information that you entered on the details tab of that particular data template. So you remember, I was advising you to always remember to amend accordingly that particular field on the details tab, the year and the term of that particular field. Now this particular list box details the names of the tabs that appear in that particular data template. If if you may recall, we had the details, form 1, form 2, all the way to form 4, and in turn these form the drop down that appear on these particular drop downs. Okay, it's coming from here. Okay, so the idea is you have the databases for form 1, form 2, form 3, and form 4. They are separate, like so. So your duty is to merge form 1 database with the tab that is relevant to that particular class. In this particular case, form 1, obviously form 1 table from the data template would be appropriate to map here, like so. You might choose any one of these, but then you'll be confusing yourself because the system is being told that what appears in the form 1 database is form 3's data. You might get confused, but make sure you match form 1 to form 1, form 2 to form 2. Now you might have noticed that when I selected form 1 or whatever option that I made here, these came here. What these imply is that this particular workbook already has some data pertaining to the form 1 database. So this particular tick mark says data has already been uploaded. So at this particular moment I'm accorded an opportunity to wipe the data that already exists by clicking the X mark. So when I click that one, because I want to replace the data that exists with a new one, I get prompted to confirm whether I'm so sure of what I'm doing. Do I really want to delete the existing data? I might have clicked that button by accident. So this particular time I am aware of what I'm doing. I really want to delete this data and replace it with a new one. So I click yes. So the form 1 database has been cleared. As you can see on the tab here, we have 0 student on the list. So I'll go back again and select form 1. This time around I'm given an opportunity now to download the data. So when I click that one, the system, depending on the system, the computer speed, it may take invariably a few seconds. If your computer is very slow, it may take a long while, but my machine is a bit slower because I'm doing so many things. When I'm recording, it tends to execute slower. Perhaps it's a good thing for you to actually follow through. So this is copying information from the data template to this particular workbook. So it's done. It says 256 students have now been uploaded in the database. So you have that. Alright. So the next thing is to verify whether the information that have been entered is the correct one. So you go to review data. With this one, you're able to see, to take a sneak peek of what is in the database. This is the only way you get to see. So you have form 1, form 2, form 3, and form 4. You got form 1, then you select, you pick the name of the student that you want to evaluate. So when you click, their grades will appear here. If the student name is very far down the list, like Zakei Vincent, you can just search here Zakei Vincent, and then the system will filter for you. When you're done with the filter, you can always release the filter, like so. So you can amend the grades even from here. Say you might have forgotten to update that grade, you can always update, and then they'll be updated accordingly. You can also insert a comment to override the comment that I pre-programmed for this software. Say for this particular student, Besen Glory, you might have some intimate information that you want to share with the parents besides the general comments that the software comes with. So you can type that here, so that when the school report for this particular student is being printed, this will be the head teacher's comment, not the one that I programmed as a default commentary. So if you go, say, if you go to the report page and select form 1, that was form 1, then here, see, what was the name? Besen Glory. Sure enough, the comment is the one that we typed and not the one that would appear for these other ones, because this is the comment that we pre-programmed. Okay, so the other thing that is confusing people is entering this tuition fee and the next school start date. You can recreate the calendar here, and then you click that one, so that will come there. You may wish to change that to 85,000, then click save, and sure enough, when you do that, that information should be able to appear here and here respectively. See, so you can change this, the head teacher's name, by just typing over. These cells are not locked, these two are not locked. You can change those. You can change the school's motto, you can change the box number if need be. You can also update upload the school logo, alright, by clicking there, clicking here, or indeed clicking there. So I'll go ahead and click that. So when you click either of those buttons, you get this dialog box where you can then map the location of your school logo. When you find it in your computer, you can just click it or double click it, click it and click OK, or double click it, and then it can come here. Okay, let's try another one that looks better. Let's say that one. Okay, now I'm getting this access denied message because this particular version of the software hasn't been activated, hasn't been registered yet. But in your case, when you buy the license, you get the full activation. You don't get to receive this particular message. So as it should be, if it's unactivated, the logo will be deleted for obvious reasons. Okay, now you can calibrate your grading system by clicking amend, and then some schools want to tweak this scale of assessment just for their own reasons, want to motivate students, or otherwise they may not adopt a system exactly in a prescribed format of an MSc grading system. Alright, so if that need arises, you can change here accordingly. You can raise the bar higher, whichever way you want, using these drop downs. If you don't find the figure that you are looking for from this drop down, feel free to just type. You can just type over, no issues. And when you're satisfied, you confirm by clicking that button, or else you discard the changes that you've made. So you revert to the original values that I were already scaled last time. The same applies for JCE. You click amend and this gets activated, and then you amend accordingly, confirm, or otherwise discard. Alright, yes. Now let's go to printing. When you want to print, there are two options. You can print directly to your printer, or you may choose just to publish PDFs So the first prompter that comes is for you to confirm whether you want to print all the 256 students for this particular form. As you can see from the bar, we indeed have 256 students. So you click yes. Then the second prompter is, would you rather just create PDF copies and not send this to your printer? If you want to send this to your printer, you click no. If you just want to create PDFs, you click yes. In this particular case, I'm going to select yes because that's what I want to do, not to send to my printer and waste paper for this particular demonstration. I just want to show you the system generating PDFs. So I'll click yes. So what you notice, what you observe is that student names will be changing here, and then their corresponding grades will also be changing in correspondence with what has been entered in the data table. So I'll click yes. Now PDFs have now started being created. Okay, so where these PDFs will be stored is the location of this particular workbook, this program. This particular program has been stored on the desktop. So you should expect to see a folder named Form 1O that is being populated with the PDFs. In this particular case, it's this one. So let me go ahead and open that one. As you can see, PDFs are being created. You can see here the number will be changing. So we have 49 items now. You see, PDFs are being created. Okay, let me just sample one for you so that you can appreciate. So there you have it, a PDF that has been created, okay, of the school report. This is happening as the system is printing out the PDFs. Alright, so this is basically what the software does. Should you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. Otherwise, you can contact me. I left my contact details in this particular tab, so we can always have a chat if there's still need for us to have a face-to-face dialogue on this. The door is always open. Otherwise, I thought this particular video can be watched over and over, and then you get the sense of what you can do to navigate this particular. I'll just let this finish and then touch on one most important thing that I forgot to touch on, which I think I need to share that particular information before we close. So we are at 62%. Just let it run. it's done. Okay, so you have the statistics, page. You can view 4 classes, you can view for 1 class by clicking that particular button. Have a list of classes within, say, Form 1, say Form 1C, you have the rankings for that particular class. Form 1G, ranking for that particular class. You can also do a subject rank, say you want to incentivize students, or give meritorious awards for performance in particular subjects, so you can use this ranking to award students accordingly. Yes, okay, I wanted to mention one important thing. When you're done with mapping of your data for the first time, like so, when you close this one, always go to the teacher allocation page, regardless of whether you want to amend anything there or not. It's important. The secret is, in my programming with new data, when you click that, the system inserts formulas and codes to populate the data accordingly. So this is one important step that needs not to be skipped. Every time you you upload new data, go to teacher allocation. You might have observed that it's taking so long. It is in order. It has to take so long because so many things are happening in the background. Formulas were being set and being queued. The reason why I queued the formulas, so that the system can run faster, so that the system is not always calculating in the background. Alright, so that's one important area that I needed to touch on. You can set the default printer. When you run the software for the first time, the system scans your computer and then populates a list of computers that were installed on your machine. So you select whichever you want to be set as a default printer for your school reports. When you confirm your selection, you can click that one. So next time, this is a once-off setup. Next time you want to print your school reports, the system will remember that default printer that you selected. Okay, otherwise you can also wish to print a selection of school reports. Say you just want to print 2, then you can say 2 to 3 or 4 to 5, but this one sends directly to your printer. Thank you so much.